Hello folks, my name is Carol Forsloff, and I'd like to describe a journey for you, my own personal journey, that I had to take after a rather unique type of surgery that has involved nearly half my face, from here to nearly the tip of my nose. You can see the scars right now. This is 10 weeks after the surgery, but I'm going to be showing you a picture that shows you that it was far worse. And then I will show you the results as we go through the process of restoring the face with makeup, with exercise, with diet, and positive thinking. Now, some of my suggestions on this video is going to work for the after outcome of skin cancer surgery, but it will also work for disfigurations on the face of many kinds resulting from burns, from acne, from aging, and from various issues. The background music you're going to hear is that of Mark Taylor. Now, Mark is a wonderful instrumentalist, plays the guitar, including classical guitar, and is on the Vandalism, which is a large music site, and is also on YouTube. I think you're going to enjoy that music as well. And I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just an ordinary woman who went through this experience and cares about recovering well, and cares about your information and your ability to be restored from gruesome to glamorous. Now, obviously, that is a phrase that may be slightly exaggerated, but I think it serves our purpose for me to tell you that, indeed, you can look attractive, you can move on, even after some of the more difficult experiences. And for women, the facial scars can be particularly traumatic. For men, they don't like it either, but in some ways it can be a scar on the forehead or on a cheek, can be a symbol of manhood for the man who was in a fight, for his honor or for the honor of his woman. But for a woman, it has a different type of feeling at any age, no matter what time and what point in life an issue occurs. Now, the nose is a high risk for skin cancer. I grew up in eastern Oregon, in La Grande, Oregon. It's a place where the weather can be extreme. The summers can be very hot, and the winters very cold. But it's a dry area with the sun shining more than in Portland, Oregon, known for its rain. Now, in the 40s and 50s, when I grew up, sunscreen was not unknown, and at least, on the rank and file of folks. And so we would put on a coconut oil to prevent sunburn and to get a tan. But I never tanned, I burned. I was a little redhead with freckles and blue eyes, and so the sun landed deliciously and fearlessly on my face, and then its results reappeared after the age of 60. I had 2 Mohs surgeries right after I turned 60. But in 2013 came this experience where you see the scars now. Surgery I had 10 weeks ago. And so the surgery took place at the end of April. Now, back to that sunscreen and protection. I need to add an addendum to my earlier remarks and remind everyone that sunscreen is essential from childhood to the grave. And so are hats, because as one skin doctor told me, one dermatologist, that when women stopped wearing hats, the rate of skin cancer on the face began to increase. So it's important. Now, skin grafts are procedures that have been done for many centuries. And sometimes in those early days, the doctors of the time would take skin from the buttocks of slaves, or from the arms, or from some place in the body, or another place in the face, to restore the nose. But the nose has a special kind of texture. And surgeons have, over the years, found that the forehead has the best emulation of the skin of the nose and any other part of the face, and so it is the best area to use in order to cover the wound and begin that skin restoration. Now, the details of what that surgery is, what it looks like, is on the internet, on various medical sites such as Medscape. And there are some videos on YouTube where people have described the surgery and what it looked like, and a bit of the process, so that people could appreciate how they might fare during the procedures. But this video is somewhat different because instead of going through the process of the surgery, I would rather take you from this point forward. Now, before we get started with specific makeup tricks and camouflage scarves and things like that, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about nutrition. And again, I'm not a nutritionist. These are just some things that I picked up from nutrition experts, and some of the things that are good to eat and use nutritionally. And these include red wine and green tea, which have flavonoids and the collagen. I drank plenty of water. That's very helpful to nurture the skin. Tomatoes and broccoli have both been found to be good foods for the skin. And modest amounts of fish, and not a lot of sugar, because of course that would cause the face to break out anyway, and we want to be as careful as we can about those things. And then there are recommendations for facial exercises. Doctors often recommend a firm massage when the scars have initiated some healing and some of the redness is gone and they're no longer crusty or bleeding. And so you want to check with your doctor about when to do that. And there are also some places on the internet that offer some information on specific facial exercises. I use a number of those, including massaging the scalp to improve circulation. So with that, by way of some background on diet and nutrition, I'd like to introduce you to my goodie bag here. And I'm not promoting any specific product. I'm just going to be showing you what I use here. And I'm a believer in using what works, even if it doesn't happen to be someone's favorite cosmetic because of some particular bias. But we're just talking about what worked for me at the time. And so I'm taking some of these out of the goodie bag now so that you can see some of them. I use a plain soap and water, usually ivory or something that's gentle to the skin. And then I proceed with a moisturizer. I happen to use Aveeno because when it says it brightens the skin, it did that for me. I also use a corrective moisturizer, and Aveeno happens to have that as well, and a moisturizer for my eyes. So that kind of helps because I want to accent my eyes, and in order to take away the focus on the rest of the face. And instead, the focus is going to be on the mouth and on the eyes, and also on color. So I used a Dermablend, and it comes both in sticks like this. It also comes in lotion, and it can be found at some of the major chain stores like Macy's. I use 2 different tones of Dermablend stick form, and I use a series of brushes in this pack of different sizes to apply the makeup that I use, both for the eyes and for the face and the cheeks. And with the Derma Blend, I also have a powder that I put on after I use the sticks, and that helps the makeup stay longer on the face and helps it even out. And then I use a series of non-allergy eye makeup, both the ones that I found that I can use are Lancome, and they've got a good mascara. And for my eyebrows that had to be shaved in some areas, I did a massage on the eyebrows, and that helped promote the regrowth of the hairs. And then I use a brow makeup here that is called Brow Expert, and it actually provides some color on the hairs and actually makes the eyebrows look more natural. So that's some of the makeup that I use, and then I'm going to show you what it all looks like when it comes together. Here's the result. I must also say that this skin happens to be just a few months older than 72 years old. And along with the makeup tricks, the makeup that I showed you, I also wear hats, and I have a little wardrobe of them, and I try to get them to match my outfits. And so let's take a look at this one. It goes with the blouse and the jewelry. I always like to wear a nice piece of jewelry again because it takes the attention from the scars and any disfiguration to something that's attractive. Or we'll try something like this, something pink. And I also have taken to wear bangs because I figure if the president's wife can do that, so can I. And we have to get over some of our prejudices about what is too old or too young to do whatever. So I hope all of you have learned something from this video, and that your journey from gruesome to glamorous will be as positive as mine has been in terms of its outcome and what you will learn from that experience. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day, and thanks to Mark Taylor for his beautiful music.